wearing a t-shirt that says never made.
I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.
Welcome back to Never Made Weight. Today we got a special guest, Leon Shahbazyan, SOG. Leon, how's life?
Life's great. How's everything with you guys?
Everything is great. Everything is great. Thank you for coming on. I want to start off by saying I love the relationship you and your brother have. I have brothers too. I see the genuine love. Watching you guys train together, cornering each other, all the post-fight interviews, you guys always mention each other. Where does that strong bond come from?
Together, we would walk to the gym together. We would watch the fights together. Every move we would try on each other. So it's just like he's my best friend. So and I'm always there for him. He's always there for me. We got each other's back. It's just something that I can't explain. It's like another one of you. So yeah, I love my brother so much.
Over here in my notes, I had written, in another interview I saw you said, it's like another one of me.
Yeah,
And I was,
exactly.
I had that written down. It's crazy how you said that again. I know exactly what you mean. So you said you have a very supportive family. You guys have a very supportive family. Like, what kind of role has that played throughout your journey? Besides your brother, like your mom, your dad,
For
cousins,
sure.
or whatever.
Yeah, I think our parents and our grandparents, they've been so supportive from day one. Always, my family never had much, but always paying for the tournaments, for the gym fees when we were growing up. And my grandpa was there, front row every fight, supporting us. My dad would take us to the jiu-jitsu tournament. My parents, they watch with the fights. They know pretty much all the fighters now. So yeah, they're just big fans and they're so supportive and we're just very blessed, because I know there's a lot of people that might not have that support from their parents growing up and all that. So we're just very blessed and grateful because it has helped us a lot.
Yeah, it's great to see. You're on a 2-fight win streak. Both of them finishes, tough enough. What's next for you after this?
Yeah, I need to go this week to Vegas to figure out what's next. Might be another tough enough, or I know like we're on the thing for a late notice call, last notice call. So I'm staying ready. Yeah, it's been a great year. I've felt like I said in my last interview, I've like revived my career and finally everything's clicking and I'm excited. Yeah, it's just maybe one more tough enough and then UFC or just UFC. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but it's been a great year for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I was telling. I was talking to my friends about it. I was like, they should just call him in for something. Like enough
Yeah.
enough of the like the Contender Series, like the test. Like sometimes you just see fighters get called up. It's
Yep.
all situational. So,
Yeah.
and of course we want that record. The first two Armenian brothers in the UFC, we want that record.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That would be awesome, like maybe down the line the UFC goes to Armenia and I know me and my brother when we have fought on the same card once or twice here in LA and so many people will come out so it will be like electric, and I know even if we fight in Vegas, so many Armenians will come out to Vegas, they love Vegas. So um
Bro,
yeah, I'm excited.
282. Edmund was fighting was it Dalcha? What was his name? Kennedy? It's something.
Dalcha.
The buff guy.
Dalcha.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Dalcha.
was in the corner.
Bro, I was like damn near front row. It was it was the sickest
Knee.
feeling. So yeah,
Yeah, he had a
Armenians
great.
are always gonna show up. UFC 300, bro. Arman was fighting Charles Oliveira. There was Armenians
Yeah,
everywhere.
everywhere.
They'll always be there for sure.
Yeah. Well, they
For
brought that whole promotion here when he was gonna fight for the title, and every Armenian had a ticket. So
yeah,
I know they're very supportive, and we're just
yeah,
blessed to be Armenian.
yeah. So based on this conversation, I want to stay on this topic. Based on how long you've been fighting and how the Armenian community loves their fighters, I'm sure you've met everyone, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Who
pretty
in the
much
Armenian
everyone.
MMA who in the Armenian MMA community would you say has given you the best advice, technique, or best work in general? Like someone outside of your gym.
I would say Freestyle MMA Gokor. He's part of my gym, but like it was he's the person I went to last year to even get this opportunity because he's the matchmaker on Tough Enough. And talking to him, he gave me the advice, just got me into like using my height more, fighting very tall, and just got me the matchups. He believed in me, you know, and I think that's what I needed more than anything. It's just coaches that believe in me, and it's been showing this year. You know, I have great coaches around me that believe in me, and the advice was just to be myself. I mentally like the skills have always been there for me. It's just it was the mindset, and I just need to switch my mindset, and I feel like I'm unbeatable now, unshakable. So yeah, I would say he gave me the most advice when I went to him last October, and obviously over here, KDMMA, I went to Karin, to just get back into my grappling because I went away from that for so long, and he's turning me back into my 15-year-old self, all just submissions, triangles, guillotines, everything. So it's just these coaches that told me like use your lane, use your jiu-jitsu because for a moment I was just the boxer when we were training at another gym here in Glendon.
Yeah. The gym you grew up in.
Yeah.
So leaving the gym that you grew up in
Hmm.
and going into, I mean, I've seen you at KDMMA. For those who don't know, that's Karen Darabedian, amazing guy, amazing coach. At some point, we'll have him on the show too. I've seen you there. I know you go to Matador, and I know you do freestyle MMA and Eric Nixick's class with Edmund. Um, how's that transition been out leaving the gym and going all over the place? Like now you got to see a bunch of different new faces. Now you
Yeah.
got to deal with a bunch of different new personalities. How's that transition been for you?
So like I don't like to speak bad about any coaches or any gyms. It's just I just felt like the coaches didn't believe in me. They told me to stop fighting, and I was really like unconfident in myself, and I took some time off just to like mentally just see what I'm doing, like, and I told myself if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna go down to 170. I need to get the right coaches around me, and MMA is a sport that you need to keep training other places and keep learning from other coaches. So, just then going to these other gyms, you're getting great work. Even the amateurs, everyone's tough nowadays. Like, there's great amateurs, great pros, and they pushed me at when I went there last year to kind of do this comeback. It was these kids, these young fighters that definitely gave me more motivation, like seeing how I'm doing with them. And I'm like, you know, it got that fire back in me that I had when I was like 14, 15, just eat, sleep, MMA. And that's what I've been doing every day in my life is just, and man, I'm just learning and I'm so blessed to be around these coaches. And I get so happy going because every day I'm learning something new, you know, and it's been great.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned, but you look happy. It's really good.
Yeah, thank
Um,
you.
so you were on this 2-fight win streak, right? I watched the fights. Both finishes were great. Last finish was a guillotine. You mentioned how that's like your special guillotine. You've been drilling that, and
Yeah.
the one before that was also guillotine, but honorable mention for the step back left hook. Right,
Yeah.
very smooth. I saw you were looking for that counter all round, and it came perfectly in the end when he chased you for a second. When he chased you and you got him with that, can
Yep.
you can you can you tell us about the high that comes with finishing a fight and how long that lasts after the fight?
Yeah. So early in my career, I've dropped in my contender series fight, I dropped the guy I rushed for a finish and it cost
Yeah.
me. And there was another fight, Gabe Green, I dropped him, I rushed for the triangle, it cost me. And it's about staying very calm in that moment and executing like the kill. So at that moment, like I had studied this guy so much and I saw he had been dropped with a left hook once, and that's one of my best punches. So he was not being aggressive on me because I was so much longer than him and taller. But I finally got him to like rushed in, boom,
Yeah.
left hook. And I stayed very calm in that moment. I picked my shots, my ground and pound, my elbows to set up the guillotine. It was more of a setup for the guillotine. So it was just about staying calm, and I've learned through those losses the way I've dropped people, and not for the way I'm finishing the fights now. Because I'm so long and dangerous. Everything I throw, I'm gonna drop somebody in the fight. So it's about how I'm gonna finish them, and it's about just staying calm in there and picking the right shots, and then the submission might open up if they're still there. So yeah, you just learn. It's a great feeling, but you need to be very calm in that moment because you don't want to like gas yourself out too.
What about after? How long does it last after?
Oh, like the win when you win. That's probably
Yeah.
the best. It's a priceless feeling. Like it lasts for probably like the whole night. It like you have like this like great feeling in you, like this so much happiness, you know, because it's just like a relief, but also like you just see your hard work pay off. But it's such a good feeling. Like you just have a smile on your face the whole time.
I can imagine. So,
Mm.
training right now, you're seeing a lot of new faces, a lot of high level
Hmm.
talent. I'm sure at Nick
Yep.
Six, you're seeing some. I heard in your last interview, because you were talking about you were drilling with RDR.
Yeah, because we do Ali Abdelaziz's grappling class, and
Uh-huh.
he came for a week before he was gonna fight Mearshart, and we were grappling with him, and yeah, he was really good, really good.
RDR kind of gives me that like Musasi feel, that like you don't know how, you don't know why, but he's just killing everybody. How did
Yeah,
you feel his strength? Like when you were
uh,
grappling with him, did you feel
yeah.
like he was stronger than usual, or was it just more technique with him?
He used his late very well, and he was very strong with his legs, like locking up the triangles from everywhere. So I looked at him because we're like the same height, and I'm like, man, I need to be grappling like this guy. You know, like I have all the ability to grapple like this guy, like his submission threats. And just seeing him, and when he was fighting even Kevin Holland, people, I'm like, you guys understand he's gonna submit Kevin Holland like nothing. Like you guys don't know how good this guy is on the ground. I've trained with him. Like I've trained with a lot of people on the ground, and this is one of the few that I'm like, yeah, if the fight goes to the ground, he will finish it 99% of everybody. And he's just so hard to deal with because of his size and how long he is. And we like he has an awkward striking style, you know, like funky kind of style, but
Yeah,
it works.
yeah,
It's like the champion, you know, they're similar in a way.
yeah, yup, yup. Who you got for that matchup?
Um, I like Chimaev. I think Chimaev is gonna just submit him quick.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, he's he's unstoppable, honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
But if anyone could beat him right now, it could be Dricus for sure.
yeah, he finds a way.
He
He
finds a
finds a
way.
way.
It might it
He
might be a
was
very
losing
close
against
decision.
Adesanya. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I just feel like uh, Chimaev has even the power to knock him out standing as well.
yeah, yeah. The friendship between him and Arman, not something I expected, but I guess they're training with that super strong strength and conditioning coach. You
Yep.
know about him?
Yeah, he was TJ Dillashaw's coach. He's also training Aaron Pico. I think it's a great thing that Chimav's doing that. I feel like that coach pushes you to the limits for cardio, and if Chimav has had any like red flags, and I think it's been his conditioning. So you see that he's working with one of the best coaches for that. So I think he'll be ready to go
Yeah,
5 rounds strong. So yeah, I think he was like a missing piece for him for sure. So I think with that coach,
yeah,
it's gonna be very tough to beat.
yeah. I'm glad, him and Arman are training together.
Yeah.
It's great.
Definitely.
We
It's
have
great, yeah.
everyone has high expectations from Arman. Um, he's shown relentless will. Both times against Oliveira, Oliveira had him in deep waters. He didn't give up. The first one was crazy. The first one was nuts. Um, Let me ask you this: do you watch all the UFC cards?
I know most of the fighters, so like that I've trained with. So if I know who's fighting, I tune in for their fights. I'll watch every main event, like even on the thing one, but I'll tune into like the prelims and stuff. And I know like it's someone I've trained with, someone I'm excited to watch, you know. But yeah, I keep up with most of the fights.
That's good. And what do you do outside of fighting for fun?
Man, the biggest change in my life has been just making fighting my life. So when I'm not fighting, I'm studying great fighters, great boxers. I have these like jujitsu books. I've gone back into like just looking through it. And also like just when I'm free, like with my coaches, I like to go to church and just like stay very grounded right now because I'm just very focused. I'm like obsessed with just the winning, and I want it so bad. I feel like I never want to lose this hunger that I have, you know. This hunger is what's gonna drive me to go forward, and I never want to lose this. It's all I want.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who follows you on Instagram would know that, you're constantly training. Um, going from place to place, and that's not easy at all, and you're
Yeah.
putting in the effort. That's amazing to see, bro. Let me ask you some current UFC questions. Leon, why is everyone going crazy over Ilya Topuria right now? What's his secret? Who and when do you see this dethroning him?
He's a great fighter, great champion. He's undefeated. People always like an undefeated fighter. He could do it all. He has more submissions than knockouts, I think. People don't know. So I think it's his last performance that have put people on him, like knocking out Volkanovski, knocking out Max Holloway, which is very hard to do, and knocking out Oliveira the way how quickly he did it. He's a great fighter, great champion, but I feel like everyone's beatable, everyone's gonna lose, and I feel like Islam and Arman could be his toughest matchups for sure because um I don't want to see him fight Justin Gaethje. I think Patty Pimblett might even give him some troubles too because he's so long. But yeah, those are the matchups I want to see, and those three have a great chance at beating Ilya and dethroning him for sure. But he's a great champion, and people like knockouts, people like finishes, and he has beautiful like snaps on his punches. So he might not hit the hardest when like they were saying Danny Gay hits harder and all that, but he knows how to place his shots. With those small gloves, he just knows how to hit you, and it's good night when he does. But I feel like he has good grappling and wrestling as well. So I really want to see him fight Islam or Arman. That would be like one of the best fights the UFC could do.
For sure, for sure. You mentioned when when you were saying that, right? You mentioned everyone is gonna lose, everyone's gonna get beat.
Yeah.
That I just paraphrased. Um, which brings me to my next question, right? The UFC GOAT combo. Khabib, never lost but retired early. John Jones, never lost but PED bust. Anderson Silva went out on his shield. GSP avenged both losses. Mighty Mouse lost a rigged decision, lost once and one in one championship, and avenged the loss. How can you tell who the GOAT is?
Those are all like great fighters and great champions. I look up to all of those fighters, you know, like at that time is when I started watching UFC, and I remember a GSP pay-per-view, a Anderson Silva pay-per-view, a John Jones pay-per-view. Um the GOAT, like you gotta put like Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey in that too because they've changed the sport so much. You know, those are fighters that we would love to watch. But I would honestly go with as the GOAT, it's John Jones for sure. Even though he has all those PED busts and all that, just like how he was a young champion, and the way he's just state champion, and the stuff he does, like you're telling me like if he comes back and he fights Aspinall, yeah, I'm not so sure Aspinall beats him. You know, it's John Jones is very smart. Like he might run away for 2 rounds and pull off a decision some way. Like you can never count him out. You know, but if Khabib comes back, like you don't know how he'll do with Ilya nowadays and all these. Like John Jones is almost 40 and he's still going at it. So I would say it's John Jones, and I would go GSP, um, Anderson Silva. Deep's in there, you know, all those great fighters. But I feel like if Ilya keeps doing what he's doing, and he could definitely be in that conversation for the GOAT. if he has like 5, 6 more victories like this, he could be up there.
Yeah, I agree. Man, I agree with the John Jones GOAT, you know, and I agree with to me it's like it's potato, you know, it's like either one could
Yeah,
be the GOAT if you think about it, you know. We never judge the GOAT off of like the best fighter of what year. Like it
yeah,
should be a little more of like inclusive conversation, you know, because
yeah,
so much greatness we've seen. Someone like Dustin Poirier, he's lost many fights, you know. He's wore the
yep,
interim belt strap, but you know,
mm-hmm,
for the entertainment he's brought, you know, for the entertainment he's brought,
exactly.
you know. So I feel like with MMA, you know, I don't know how the fans are a little critical, I would say,
Mm-hmm,
you know, a little
yeah,
unforgiving. So yeah. Well, Leon, man, I really appreciate you doing taking the time doing this show. This one was necessary, and we'll have you back on in the future, God willing. Is there
thank you.
anything you want to leave us with?
No, thank you guys for having me. Follow me on social media at Leon Shahbazyan, Instagram. So appreciate you guys for having me on.
At Leon Shahbazyan. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Wearing a t-shirt that says never made.
I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.